Hey, how's it going? I'm Brian with Reclaimed Republic. Today we're going to be packing up a set of these faux wood cassette drawers for cassette tapes. I sold these yesterday and was getting ready to start packing them up to getting them out the door, and thought I'd showcase how I do this just to make sure they get there safe and sound. There's a few things you want to make sure you have ready before you even get started packing. Is you want to measure your drawers first before you get them all packed up. You want to make sure you find the right size box, so you're not packing it up first, getting it all wrapped and then searching for a box. So I happened to find in my stack of weird boxes an Amazon box that is going to leave me a couple inches all the way around to leave me plenty of room for packing material, which is crucial. I have my stretch wrap, just a little handheld stretch wrap on a spinning handle, so I can make sure and keep the doors closed, keep the two units nice and tight together. I'll use bubble wrap. I'll put a wrap, probably 2 or 3 wraps around the outside. I don't count on the bubble wrap as my #1 protector of the units. It does help, but the thing I'm going to use the most of is going to be this packing paper. So I put packing paper, I line the bottom so I have some cushion, and then after I set the units in, nice and packed around the sides and on the top. So whenever this is traveling, if there's any bumps along the way, the paper is taking the cushion, it's allowing some movement, but it's protecting all the way around. So where you might get into trouble is if you have your packaging way too rigid inside, so that any impact just travels right through rigid packing material into the item that's inside the box. So take that into account. Whenever I'm doing calculated shipping, I'm thinking about that as part of the weight of the items, because paper is heavier than bubble wrap and heavier than plastic as far as packing materials. You can wad up bubble wrap if you want and put it in there. I just find that paper works a little better, at least what I've seen. So, personal experience. So we're going to go ahead and get started wrapping these up. I do have a whole box of packing paper down here, so I'll be getting into that here in just a little bit. So I'm going to set some of this stuff off to the side until I'm ready to use it. And I have the packing tape. I didn't call that out. Of course, you're going to need packing tape to pack up your box and make sure it's safe and sound. So first thing I'll do on my table, I always kind of hang these off the edge a little bit just to get them started, is and you don't have to have tons of stretch wrap, but you want to have enough on there to where they feel secure. There's no movement in the pieces. Then I'll flip this around, go right over here, just to get this thing being a little bit clumsier than I would be normally, but that's okay. Now you can see I'm moving these all around. The drawers are secure, the units are secure, and I haven't used tons and tons of stretch wrap. All right. I know you can tear stretch wrap. I like the clean cut of a pair of scissors, so I use scissors on mine. Probably seems a little fussy, but that's just the way I do it. So you can see everything is in good shape. It's like one unit now. So it doesn't take much there. We'll get the stretch wrap out of the way. Then we're going to get some bubble wrap. Not sure how this is going to work exactly. This bubble wrap is a little bit of a conglomeration of a bunch of smaller pieces I got from a return. It was originally my bubble wrap, but trying to be the frugal reseller that I am, I'm going to use as much of this return bubble wrap as possible because it's still in good shape. Put that in place. Get some more bubble wrap going. And like I said, I'm not putting tons and tons of bubble wrap on here because it's not my primary source of protection. It is one of them, but my primary source of protection is going to be the packing paper. So I've got that in good shape there. Normally I would have just had a roll sitting off to the side and I would have just done a couple wraps rather than the pieces, but again I'm trying to use up some of this reclaimed bubble wrap, if you will. And that might be enough right there. That is going to be enough right there. Okay. Now I'm going to bring my stretch wrap back. I'm just going to run all over this to make sure it's nice and secure. And at this point, I'm a little less gentle with the item. I'm not thrashing it around, but just kind of bopping it around on the countertop or the packing table is no big deal. Okay, now we're ready to start putting packing paper in a box. You can see that's in pretty good shape. Anybody, I mean, if I got this in an eBay package, I would feel like this was a pretty secure product and it was packed well. So I think just about anybody that receives this is going to feel good about it, feel confident they're going to open something that is intact the way they intended for it to be. So we'll just set this off to the side for now. Now we're going to get our box. So just a good clean box and start putting our packing paper in. Okay, so I've got a nice layer there. That will, I don't know if you can see it, nice layer of packing paper. And I may adjust this, I may take some out, may put more in, just depending on how everything fits in there initially. So I put in the base layer first, then I will set the drawers in there. That bubble wrap took up most of the space around the edges. So I'm going to take one layer of paper out and leave one layer in. And that's what it looks like. So it looks a little bit tight, but this is how I've shipped them in the past, and everything arrives perfect. I'm going to have the paper on the bottom. This paper that I'm using, I can get it right down here on the sides. Get a piece, and for the sides, I'm going to cut this piece in half. Get it right down there. Get this piece right down there. And whenever I'm putting it, so this will compress a little bit whenever I tape it. On the sides, whenever you're putting it in the middle on the sides, that's taking it still has taking any pressure or force that's put on it. Doesn't necessarily have to be completely touching everywhere, because the impact is going to hit and it'll absorb, and if there's any impact. I'm just going to take some paper and put it across the top. Get one more full piece. So that's what it looks like across the top. Now I'm going to be really tightening this up. And that's okay if it's a little tight across the top. Just like that. Get everything all pulled together. Get our first piece of tape on. I don't love the eBay tape. I use it because I have the coupon. I am considering switching to just some like clear 3-inch wide packing tape. I like the branding on the eBay tape. I just don't love the tape itself. Okay. Now, do a couple of things here. Okay, we are done. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a few fragile stickers on there. There's mixed opinions on, you know, are they going to throw it as hard as they can if it has a fragile sticker? Are they going to take really good care of it if it has a fragile sticker? I've never had anything that I put a fragile sticker on come back broken. And one thing I heard, I was watching somebody on YouTube talking about handling, and I believe it's the USPS stated that whenever they're shipping something, if it has a fragile sticker on it, nothing can be stacked on top of it. I have no idea if that's true, but would make some sense, because ultimately, with the amount of packing that's in there, if it gets broken in transit, they're going to be the ones eating that cost, and they don't want to do that. So that's it. That is a pair of cassette drawers on their way out the door, and that's the way I ship them. And again, I've never had any come back broken or damaged, and everything seems to be going really well with them. So if you have any comments or questions about the packing that I use, you can drop that down below if you want to roast me for the way I just packed those. leave that down below too, no problem. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks.